Good afternoon, FlossTube friends. This is Lisa from Lady Huzzah Presents on FlossTube, Lady Huzzah on Instagram. Welcome back if you have been with me on my FlossTube journey, or welcome if you are new to my channel. I'm glad to have you. Come share some time with me as I explore with you my stitching, my knitting, wool applique, and all of the stitchy stuff that we love to do. So it has been a whirlwind. I can't believe that we are already into December already. Where has this year gone? I mean, it's crazy. It's just over, almost over. But we were at a fun time of the year with the holidays and the holiday preparation. And I just love these holidays of gratitude and thankfulness, joy and celebration. So here we go. Welcome, welcome. I have to thank all of you for the wonderful response to my 5,000 subscriber celebration. It just warms my heart that you all come back time and time again to just hear me ramble on about my stitching. But it's always so much fun to share these things, as I also love to watch FlossTube myself and see what everybody else is doing. So a little bit of life update. Things have been a little bit of a whirlwind. About a month or so ago, one of our cats, our Addie girl, started having what appears to be seizures. They're a little bit different than a traditional seizure, but it's really what it seems like. And we've had a few trips to the vet. She has these episodes where she can't walk. She's not able to bear weight on her paws, her back left and front right paw, and she's stumbling around and dragging herself around, and then in about 45 seconds she gets up and runs away, chases our other cat, and you would never know that anything out of the ordinary happened. So as you can imagine, this has been quite a concern for my husband and I. We just love our little girl Addie. She is such the sweetest, kindest cat. She's 10 years old, and I don't know that I have ever heard her hiss. So we're dealing with that. It's just a puzzle, but as far as we know, she has not had one in about the last 2.5 weeks. But again, being that she's fine after it happens, who knows if she's having these seizures that are unobserved by my husband and myself. So anyway, that's our Addie. I've also been very busy helping a friend of mine, a lovely couple that was one of the first couples we met when we moved to the area 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago. And her husband has been quite ill, and so I've been helping out there when I can. Also working some shifts at my old job just to stay current. And I try to spend some time at Liberty Hill Needleworks whenever I can do that too. So life is full, rich, exciting, and eventful. Retirement is a blast so far. My husband and I have done some traveling and a little bit of weekend getaways also. So what have I been up to otherwise for stitching? Okay, in October, I went to Salty Yarns in Berlin, Maryland for their Jamboree weekend. I need to get a little sip here. And Sarah, the owner of Salty Yarns, does a wonderful job with the retreats there. At the shop, they have a huge room in the back that is perfect for classes. And the weekend was a roaring success. The teachers this year were Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery and Beth Seal from Summer House Stitchworks. And I'll share with you the project that we did. It's called Whale's Tail, and this was for Salty Yarns 2025. This was a project from Beth Seal, and we created this will be a thread bed book. And this is all stitched on linen with silks, this whale. And in class, I was able to finish hand sewing the book together but then I still have to stitch the whale piece that goes on the front. I was also able to finish a scissor fob that looks like a ship's compass. And this is wool applique. This was really fun to do. And here's the pin cushion. I have not started that yet. So anyway, it was a really fun project. Everybody seemed very engaged and very positive and actively working on their project, which was a lot of fun. So the other project we had for Jamboree, it was a collaboration with the two Beths, was the Trade Winds basket. And this was a pre-stitch. So we were going to start with the finishing in class. So I can show you here how far I got. I did not finish it. If you follow Country Stitches, online, Country Stitchers, it's Deb and Liz. They live in the Lancaster area. If you follow Deb and Liz, Country Stitchers, Deb finished her basket, so you can check it out there. So here's the seagull. This is all one side of whoops, that was a seagull. Here's a seagull, dolphin, lighthouse, and a ship. So all these will get sewn together to form our basket. Here's all the lining pieces. I did get those all lined. And then everyone got a fussy cut piece of fabric that had a boat on it, or ship, for the bottom of their basket. I also was able to finish the handle of my basket, which is waves, and then I couched down the rickrack with a bead on the underside. So anyway, this was quite the undertaking, lots of fun, but being that all the Christmas obligations that I have to stitch, I haven't gotten back to it since the weekend. I also got this cute needle minder. We were gifted that. There was several different ones. I love mine with the sailboat. And then Beth Twist's husband, I don't know if you are all aware of it, he does beautiful woodwork for Needleworkers. So she gifted us this ruler from him, and it's hard to see it on the video, but down here and up here is inlay of mother of pearl. It is gorgeous, and everybody was so thrilled to get this for their basket. So that was a really fun weekend for Jamboree at Salty Yarns. Check it out. Sarah does a wonderful retreat, and like I said, everyone had a great time, and it was great to see everyone's baskets really evolve over the weekend. Some people finished them. Like I said, I did not, but it was really fun. Then the other event that I did was in November. I went back to Salty Yarns for the fall retreat for the Delaware Valley Historic Sampler Guild. They are out of Delaware. They do Zoom and in-person retreats, and they offer Zoom and in-person classes and meetings, but then twice a year they offer a retreat at Salty Yarns. So this was their autumn retreat, and it was just a weekend of stitching and enjoying time with other guild members. Sarah did a reception for us at the shop, and it's just a great time to gather, just to stitch and be with other stitchers, just working on projects of our own that we've brought with us for the weekend. But you might want to check that out also. I will put contact information in my show notes about the Delaware Valley Historic Sampler Guild retreat, or the Sampler Guild. They do lots of different fun things throughout the year. They do a secret stitcher where you sign up for it, and then several times throughout the year, you mail your secret stitcher little gifties or cards or just notes, just whatever you want to. And then your secret stitcher will send things to you. And then the big reveal, I believe, is in August of who your stitcher was for the year. In fact, just the other day, I met, for the first time, I was at Liberty Hill, and I met the person who who was sending me gifts last year. So it was really nice to make that connection, and, you know, because you've made a new Stitchy friend over the year, and it was really nice, once again, to put a person behind all the lovely things that she sent me and thinking of me throughout the year. So that was great. So that's pretty much what I've been up to since our last video. The time does fly, and I've been very busy stitching Christmas things right now, but I will get on to that after I reveal the winners from my giveaway for the 5,000 subscribers. I do have 2 giveaways that have been unclaimed, and I will read their names one more time, and if they go unclaimed, you know, until my next video, I will offer them to someone else at another time. Okay, so the first one was Lizzie Kate, and this goes to Julie Stubbs. My email is in the show notes, Julie, so please email me if you hear this. And these little patriotic smalls will be really fun to make for the 250th anniversary of our nation in 2026. Okay, this is Bee in My Bonnet stitch cards, and these go to Becky Dunhsm, Becky DUNHSM 7064. These are fun little stitch cards that you could stitch into little pillows or scissor fobs or a needle book, all different things, but they will just make a fun little project for you. So please email me, Becky. Okay, the next winner of the Bent Creek Boo goes to Dawn Carlson, 5464. Congratulations, Dawn. And the next gift was Halloween Mini, and this goes to Patricia Eshelman, 9693. This is a Chessie and Me kit. And the next winner is also winning a Chessie and Me kit. This is called Pumpkin House, and this goes to Claire 6659. That's Claire, CLARE 6659. Congratulations, Claire. I'll be looking for your email. The next winner is Julie Thomas, 8254. And Julie, you have won Plum Street Blueskin. This is a really fun stitch. I have stitched this piece twice, and this shows George Washington with one of his horses, Blueskin. So again, another great stitch for next year, our big patriotic year. The next prize goes to Rita Leveille, Rita LEVEILLE 4051, and she wins the Blue Flower Strawberry Bird. Okay, and here is a holiday chart called Merry Birds from Heartstring Samplery, and this goes to Barbara Willems, 547. Congratulations, Barbara. If you get right on it, you could stitch one of these before Christmas, possibly. Very cute little smalls. And Margaret Hendricks, 3293, you are the winner of Wear Your Woolies. I have seen this model stitched, and it is beautiful, beautiful. So congratulations, Margaret Hendricks, 3293. The winner of this sampler chart from Sassafras Samplers, Christian Henry. This goes to Lorraine Donaldson, Z5C. Congratulations, Lorraine. Beautiful sampler chart. Okay, Allison Owen, 8547. You have won this Chester County sampler, Hannah Albertson. And this is a beautiful chart from the Scarlet Letter. Again, Allison Owen, 8547. And the last winner is Beth Heiler, 2174. And Beth, you have won Hanging the Moon by Kathy Barrick. What a fun whimsical holiday stitch for you. Okay, I'll be looking for your emails and we'll get these out to you as soon as possible. Okay, so what have I been stitching on and finishing? Well, I've been doing some holiday stitching. Some of them have been for exchanges that I have already mailed them to their recipients, so I don't have those to show. However, I do have some other finishes that I can show you. Each year, I stitch an ornament for my kids. My kids are grown now, but they look forward to what I stitch for them each year. So this year, I resurrected an old chart. It was a limited edition chart. I'll show you the original and then how I adapted it for my kids. This was an old You and I limited edition, You and I and Friends limited edition Santa, I believe from 1994. It was designed to be done as a stand-up, which I did. This was stitched on 26 count linen over 2. So he's quite a hefty little fellow here. Fun stitch, totally filled in. So I was cleaning out my sewing room. I think on my last video I said that I found bags and bags of unfully finished things. Well, that was in this same clean out thing in my sewing room. So I found the chart for this and I decided to stitch these as ornaments for my kids. So I changed the colors and I stitched these on 36 count linen. I had to do 2 since I have 2 kids. So I changed them and stitched these roly-poly Santas for my kids. And on the bottom here, I personalize it every year, put my initials to their initials and the year. So this one I did for my son, and I'll just show you the back. This was a lot of stitching, and this is that whisper that can be a little bit challenging to work with. And so this one's for my daughter, and here's the back on hers. So anyway, these 2 ornaments have really kept me busy, but I'm really happy with the way they turned out. I sewed them together, stuffed them, added some twisted cording trim, a smaller twisted cording hanger, and then placed a little bead there at the top. So now I can get these wrapped up, and I'm really excited for them to receive them on Christmas. All right, so I have also, I think on my last video, I was talking about how I knit a pair of socks for my son's girlfriend for Christmas. I don't think she watches my videos. I'd be really surprised if my son told her about my videos. But anyway, I knit a pair of socks for her, and she will be with us at Christmas time. And then my son told me, he says, well, Mom, I like the socks that you knit for me. And I said, really? I had no idea. I knit you a pair years ago and never really heard much about it. So he said, oh yes, he would love another pair of socks. So I was able to finish a pair of socks for him. And this is self-striping yarn. And for him, they turned out to be identical twins because I started the sock in the same spot in the yarn so that the striping pretty much comes out the same. There is some variation, but it's basically the same sock. So then, since I was on a sock roll, I decided, well, maybe I'll make my daughter another pair of socks. So I did knit her. These are not blocked yet, but I did knit her. Got the first one done. Hers will be fraternal twins. And when I say that, it is the same yarn, same striping configuration, but the socks were started at a different point. The repeat was so big on this that I really couldn't afford to, go through the yarn so much to find the right starting spot, because then I was afraid that I would run out of yarn for the sock. So hers are a little bit different, but so these will be the fraternal twins because they're the same material, but just different, not identical. So I have that project going. We do have a long car trip that will be coming up soon. So the second weekend in December, we're going out to the Penn State, Pennsylvania area to visit my brother-in-law and his family for Victorian Christmas. And we are also making a stop in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which I'm very excited about. I've never been to Bethlehem other than for my niece's wedding years ago, but I've never been there at Christmas time, and I'm really looking forward to that too. So needless to say, I will have plenty of knitting time in the car on the way to Pennsylvania in a few weeks. All right, what other finishes do I have? Oh, okay, well, this one I showed you before, but I added to it. This I stitched when I was in Germany this summer with our daughter, and it is the Tiny Town Nativity, and I did it as a drum. And here's the bottom and the top, and it's done on a sparkly linen, which really gives the illusion of little stars in the sky. But I was looking for a pin that was a star to put in this pin drum. So, the pin is not sticking very well. So I did find some Just Another Button Company pins. So I did find a star, and this little pack came with a candle and a little swirly swirl there. And so I did add those to my drum, and then now have this on display for Christmas. So I was really happy with how that turned out. All right, let's see, I had other finishes. Oh, these were, I finished 2 of these. Hands-on Design, Oh Christmas 3. And I've done 2 of them. I have Oh Christmas 2. And what I did was, I did change the linen, but I stitched Noel and mounted it on this snowflake that I found at Home Goods. I'll be on the lookout for these. This was what I could get for now. So this was really a fun finish. Just did a flat mount. Mounted it on a circle of mat board or X board I like to use. Patted it with a little bit of Warm and Natural. Gathered it up and glued it down onto the snowflake. And then I made a 4-ply, four ply of full lengths of DMC cording to go around the outside. So I did the Noel. And then I also did this Joy Star. And this is on kind of a blingy star. Again, this was a star I found at Home Goods. And there you have it. So I'm really happy with the way these turned out. So those will be gifts. What I did do, the original was stitched on charcoal Belfast, 32 count. I stitched mine on 36 count. Oh, I don't have the linen right here with me. Yeah, it was called Picture This Plus. I believe it was called Dwarf. So this is the blue, and then I changed all the threads to overdyes. I can put this in my show notes of what my conversion was. I was really happy with how they turned out, and just another option for doing it on a little bit lighter linen than how dark the other linen was. But yeah, these turned out, super happy with the way these turned out. All right. So whips, boy, do I have whips. So my first whips will be my Whip Go for November. Doesn't really look like it, but I did achieve my Whip Go goal. One of my Whip Go pieces for November was Baby It's Cold Outside from Heartstring Samplery. So I had quite a bit of this done, and then one night I was stitching late, and I was stitching with one strand on what I thought was 36 count linen. Like I said, I had quite a bit of it done, and I had it done a while ago, and then I pulled it out for my Whip Go for November. And I'm stitching late one night and stitching. I'm thinking, this just seems like bigger than what I thought it should be. It just doesn't seem, I just wasn't happy with the way, something just didn't seem right. It just seemed amiss a little bit. So I counted my threads, and instead of stitching on 36 count, I was stitching on 32 count. Well, so then I came to a screeching halt and decided to, what should I do? Should I just keep going on the 32 count? I don't normally stitch on 32 count. 36 or 40 is my sweet spot. I just love the way that feels to stitch it. I love the way it looks. So I stopped everything and got new linen and then restarted it on the 36 count. And here I am, not too far, but I did want to get the whole border done since I am a border girl. Oh, this is my sweet little needle minder Christmas sweater. But I think I might start doing some of the letters just to make it look like I'm making some progress. There's some other changes that I'm going to do with this chart also. You know, it says, listen to the fireplace roar. Well, what's missing from here? Fireplace smoke. So I am going to stitch some smoke coming out of the chimneys, or at least one of the chimneys on here. And I did it on the gray linen because I thought it looked more like a stormy winter day. You know how they look kind of gray and cloudy? And so anyway, so that's my Heartstring Samplery, Baby It's Cold Outside. Love this. I think the song is fun. The song has come under fire from people, but you know what? It's just a fun little dating kind of tease, at least in my opinion. I love that song. My other Whip Go piece was a Blue Coat Santa for November, and so I pulled him out. Now this was not a whip for me. On my Whip Go, I do put some new starts. If it's something that I've really wanted to stitch, I put it down on my Whip Go board just so I make sure that I get to it that year. This kind of came in a timely way because here it was called for my November stitch, and I've noticed a lot of people are stitching the Blue Coat Santa. I am really into these Teresa Kogut Santas. I have the pink Santa chart on order. I have the green Santa, and they are just super fun. Here you can see my progress. So here's the Blue Coat Santa. His beard is about halfway stitched in. Maybe you can see. But I started in the center on the house and then moved up that I could just see this guy. But you know, it's amazing. I had the whole face done without the eyes. And then when I put the eyes in, his face just came alive. I just love this little guy. Can't wait to be able to put more stitches in him. All right, what else do I have going on that I am stitching? Oh, I know. How many of you are doing this? This was from Primrose Cottage. This is a chart download. And it is a flag that marks, there's 250 stars on this flag. There's been a lot of talk about, well, there's not 50 blue stars on the flag, you know, on the star area. There's not 50 stars there. Some people have been back and forth of if they're going to do 50 stars, but then how do you configure that in? I'm just doing it as a stylized flag. So we started, it's kind of like a 1 star a day sal until July 4th. July 4th, we'll put in the last star. So you stitch 1 little star a day. We started on October 27th, and 1 star a day. We'll finish this up. It's the 250 countdown to our celebration of our 250 years as a country on July 4th. So I have been keeping up with it every day. The called for colors were DMC, the bright white, the B5200, DMC 930, and DMC 3777. I did it differently though, and I will tell you my color changes. So I am current. I've done 1 little star a day. It's tempting to do more, but I'm just staying with it just for the fun. And my linen is, I will have to put that in the show notes. It just went out of my head what linen I'm using. I'll put it in the show notes. But the threads I am using are Gentle Arts Oatmeal, Weeks Dye Works Cayenne, and Weeks Dye Works Fathom. So mine's going to look like a tattered old flag. So there you go. I will put, like I said, I will put the threads I'm using, and I will put the linen that I'm using in the show notes in case you're interested. It has been fun to see what other people are doing. Some people are using a white linen or almost white linen so that their stars show up. People are using all different colors of linen, and it's really been kind of like a fun little thing. I just have it as my reminder. I pick it up first thing in the morning, ideally. Sometimes it's my last stitch at night, but I put my little star stitch in, and it's just fun. It's fun as a little countdown to our independence celebration. Okay, so I do have some Stitchy kindness here, and I am in an exchange group that I've been in for years, and I just received my winter exchange piece in the mail the other day. My exchange partner was Eve Colgan, or Eve sent this to me. And again, meeting people that you've known from the internet. I met Eve at the Delaware Valley retreat at Salty Yarns in November, and it was really fun to meet her. So Eve stitched this for me, and then of course gave me some little goodies and treats in the package also. She sent me this, oh, it's full of orts, but this little ort container that is just so sweet. It has hedgehogs with earmuffs on and hats. It's really super cute. So she sent me that. She sent me some wonderful chocolates and gummies. And this piece that is from Teresa's Primitive Treasures, and she stitched it on a 36 count Dixie sampler linen. So I was thrilled to receive this, and I put it right away. I added it to my holiday decor that I had up so far. So that was really fun, and it was great to meet Eve. Eve, if you're watching, hey, and it was so wonderful to meet you after all of these years. The other Stitchy kindness I have is I received this from my friend Stacy. We usually try to get together to stitch at least once a month. It had been a while. We both had things going on and we couldn't stitch together. So the last time we got together, she gave me my birthday present and she stitched me this paddle. Well, I have to read to you what it says on here. It's perfect. It says, "When I am a retired woman, a crown upon my head, I'll sit and stitch till very late and never go to bed." And there is a silver hoop here. And Stacy knows that I love the nighttime stitching. I just love the quiet of the night. I just love the peacefulness of it with my cat Zara curled up with me as I stitch away. And so this was perfect. And I just love that Stacy took the time to stitch this for me. I just love it. Thank you, Stacy. You know, I do like the morning stitches too. The newness of a morning stitch. Just up first thing in the morning, sitting with my cup of coffee, stitching for a little bit before all the craziness of the day gets going. But hey, you know what? We just love to stitch no matter when it is. Okay, so I have some other Stitchy kindness too. One day when I was at Liberty Hill, someone introduced themselves to me, and it was Teresa Cuneo of Jersey Girl Stitch Co. And Teresa so sweetly sent me some of the pins. Teresa makes beautiful pins for to accessorize biscornus or little smalls or whatever. So she sent me both of these pins. One is for one of Antique Needleworkers biscornus, and the other, this little dangle one, is for Antique Needleworkers Be Ye Loyal pillow. I believe that this is for Summer Biscornu. And then this is for the Be Loyal pillow. But super sweet of her. And then I tell you, Teresa was wonderful. She says, I really want to send you some pins for your daughter. So, you know, everyone, if you've been following me, you realize that my daughter went through breast cancer treatment last year. And Teresa sent me these pins. They are exquisite. And these are available on her website. It's Jersey Girl Stitches on Instagram or jerseygirlstitchco.com for her website. But these pins are a fundraiser for breast cancer right now. And it's really hard to see. They are gorgeous. This has a little crystal like bow down there, and this pin, I think it's hollow. The bead on there, I think is hollow, but it's gorgeous. So go on over to her website. She so generously sent me these, and she sent me these breast cancer pins for my daughter since she just really went through her journey. And I can't wait to give them to her at Christmas time. These are called the Animes Lace pins. Again, Jersey Girl Stitch Co. And check them out. And then she so generously sent me those other pins, and it was really fun to get an opportunity to meet Teresa. So that's some of the Stitchy kindness. I tell you, Stitchers are the best, so thoughtful, so generous, so loving, and I really, really feel quite honored to be part of such a loving and giving community. All right, so let me see what else we have here. Okay, so it seems like everyone is getting ready for the Jingle Ball. That is all of there's a lot out about the Jingle Ball on Facebook or other social media, Instagram. And so are you going to the Jingle Ball? So this will be my 4th year participating. Last year, I really kind of had it figured out. The first time the weekend was just so busy that I had my ticket, but just never really participated. The second year, I had a whole house full of friends, and we were going to do the Jingle Ball, but we were unsure of how it was, and it was just kind of too confusing. High energy space. There was 5 people sleeping over my house that weekend, and it was just kind of confusing, so we just decided to not really do the Jingle Ball too much, just enjoy each other's friendship. That was the year that Liberty Hill opened, so we went to their grand opening, and we went to Colonial Williamsburg for illumination, and did some shopping and stitching and laughing and eating, all the things when you get together with your friends. So that didn't really work out so well. So last year I did the Jingle Ball by myself, and it was great. I was able to participate in a lot of the classes. I was able to go into the little rooms, watch the videos. There's a lot of content. So I guess I need to back up. If some of you don't know what the Jingle Ball is, it is an online weekend online weekend stitch retreat. I believe there's 12 or 13 designers this year. You go to jingleball.net and you can buy a ticket for $15. So $15 will get you into the Jingle Ball and all of the extra programming. They have meet and greets with the designers, all kinds of things like that. They have a shopping mall. They have what they call speed dating, where you are matched up with a stitcher for like 5 or 10 minutes. I haven't done speed dating, but I want to this year. You're matched up with a stitcher to talk stitching for 5 or 10 minutes, and then it goes on to somebody else. I believe you can extend it if you want. I don't know. That's all new territory to me. I need to check it out this year. But there's also classes. Now, sign up for the classes started in October, but that was really sign up for kits, pretty much, because there's some kits available from the designers, and they honestly did tend to go quickly. But you can also purchase the PDF for all the classes. And if you purchase a PDF, you can get in at the designated time. There's a whole schedule of events for the Jingle Ball. You can get in at the designated time and have the teacher teach the class. Another good thing about it is that the video, knowing it's a busy time of the year, the video is available for a month after the Jingle Ball. So you don't even have to be there on Jingle Ball weekend at the designated time for the class. So people like to purchase their PDFs early so that they can then, harvest all the supplies and then maybe start stitching on it, or not. Some of mine I've started stitching on this year, some I have not. But it's a really fun and enjoyable thing to do. Now the Jingle Ball is coming up this weekend. What is that? Like the 5th? It's Friday, whatever date. Okay, today's the 1st. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. It's Friday. It's Friday. And it goes from Friday afternoon until Sunday night, about midnight. That way it takes in the time zones, and it's really, really fun. So I will show you what I am doing for the Jingle Ball this year. And let me get on that. Okay, so one of the designers for the Jingle Ball. Oh, wait a second. You can still get the PDF classes. I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe as late as Thursday. It might be Friday. So if you're interested in the Jingle Ball, I would get on it and download your PDFs anyway, or just get your Jingle Ball ticket and for $15 and see what they have to offer. So one class that I did sign up for, which I'm really excited about, is Stacy Nash's Christmas Cookie Series. It's a Christmas animal cracker, and her name is Ginger. Now, I was able to get the kit. From this photo, I thought it was more of a pink linen. It is not. The linen that came with my kit is kind of brown. I've seen people stitching on this, on the brown. I have not started mine yet because I want to wait for the class, and I'm sure people will be showing what they've, I believe there's video with that class. So hopefully people will be showing how they've stitched it. I've seen it being stitched just from people coming into the shop on different linens. I am using red pear. I think I'll be using red pear. And then I changed out, I'm adding this cranberry color, and I'm adding Classic Colorworks English Ivy. I think I'll do the dress, here, I'll color up again, in a deeper green than what's in the kit. So anyway, that is one of the classes from the Jingle Ball that I'm really excited about taking. Just like a lot of you, I've gone kind of goofy over all of the animal crackers. So much fun to stitch, and there'll be more on that later, which I will tell you about. So that's one of my Jingle Ball classes. The other class that I'm doing is Countdown to Christmas Bell Pull from Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. And it is this big, long bell pull, kind of like a advent calendar. And if you ordered the kit, you got a needle minder that you attach to your bell pull and then count down the days. Well, I am stitching this. I did not get the kit. I just ordered the PDF, and I am stitching mine on 2-inch banding. So I did get a good start on this. And so this is stitched over 1. The big bell pull that Beth's kit is 36 count Vintage Country Mocha, cut long, not cut like a fat quarter, or it's long. So anyway, I am stitching mine on 27 count banding. And I'm using all of the designated colors, although I did switch out 2 of the greens and my red so that they coordinate with the trim on this banding. So after I finish this, I will probably back it with fabric and put it on a spool. And I'll show you what I mean here just in a second, because I have another one I did like that. And if you've been with me, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I'll just show you again. So the other bell pull that I have done like this is this one from the eye stitch. I think it's eye stitch. Oh, darn it. I hate this when you get on the camera and then your mind just goes, ooh, it just fades away. It's eye stitch band sampler. So this was one that we did for Advent one year. It was in 2021, and I had started. Here it says Merry Christmas. I had started this, but this was the year that my mom was really declining in her health, and she eventually did pass away. And then I had a hard time getting back to it because it just reminded me of the sadness that went with all of that. So I did not finish this in 2021, but I did put it on my whip go for 2024, and I did finish it in 2024. So here I've just hemmed up the back, and I fused a piece of fabric to the back. Let me see. It's really not very long. It's probably about 18 inches long, maybe not even that much. And then I affixed it to a spool. I think this might have been an earring. I cut the little thingy off the earring and glued that on top. So I intend to finish my Beth Twist bell pull. Well, it's a tongue twister. Tongue twister, much in the same way. And then I hold this closed with a little Santa hat pin. So that was my countdown to Christmas bell pull from Beth Twist. Then there's one more class that I'm doing on the Jingle Ball weekend. And I have, again, harvested all my supplies from the PDF list, but I'm just interested to know how this whole process is done. You know, I enjoy doing my own finishing, and I'm just curious as to how Liz Matthews does this. So this is Christmas snow globes from Liz Matthews. And these are finished in a quart jar. And she gives you, I can't show them because it's the charts, but she gives you a number of motifs. You're supposed to stitch 3 for each jar. It's your choice. You can do a small, medium, and large, and she has them designated by which motifs qualify as a small, medium, or large. And they're not stitched on perforated paper. I thought they might have been, which, who knows, maybe that would be easier. She has them on 32 count linen. So I did buy the linen. And then they are a selection of DMC threads, which I have all of those. And she makes these adorable snow globes where you put in some of that fake snow in the bottom. And there's styrofoam that everything connects into because I've assembled all of the supplies. But this should be really fun, and I'm looking forward to that class as well on the Jingle Ball. So those are 3 of the classes I'm taking. I'm curious to know what classes you might be taking from the Jingle Ball as well. It's just a really fun, festive weekend. I've tried to limit other things I'm doing on the weekend, although that hasn't really worked out so well, and I'll tell you about that too, because I want to be present as much as I can for the Jingle Ball. But in all fairness to my husband, I just don't want to be like geeking out on my iPad from Friday afternoon till late Sunday night. He needs, to feel like he's celebrating the holidays too. So this is what we have planned for that. On Saturday morning, we are going to a Williamsburg Christmas house tour that is put on by by one of the garden clubs. And you tour 4 houses that are in the general area of the colonial area in Williamsburg. I believe one of the houses is, the other 3 that you tour is not, and it is gorgeous. The garden club goes all out and decorates the house with beautiful flowers and beautifully decked out for Christmas, and it really gets you in the holiday spirit. So we're doing that on Saturday morning. And then Saturday afternoon, we are going to have the Hallmark moment, and we are helping with our little town of Toano, our town's Christmas tree lighting. So We are part of the Toano Historical Society, and it is a town, a very historic town here right next to Williamsburg, and it's going through a resurgence and a rebuilding and a remodeling of a lot of buildings. And there's a farmer's market every Saturday, and there's like a town greens area. And so there's a farmer's market every Saturday. And then at Christmas time, they have a tree lighting. And in the summertime, they have a summer solstice party. So my husband and I are helping selling tickets from 4 to 5:30 on Saturday. And then I also signed up for their bake sale table. Well, I did something different that you might want to try yourself. So I didn't do a bake sale, but what I did do is this. I'll show you here. I've been making these for years, ever since my kids were in preschool. I forget where I saw them first. It may have been at a craft show years ago. I really don't know, but I have made hundreds, if not thousands of these. So, and you might want to try it too. I'll show you exactly what I do and where I get the supplies. So I made these little chocolate sleds. I'll show it from all angles. Okay, so I made these little chocolate sleds. Now, it has become a tradition in our home that I have one of these at each place setting for our Christmas dinner. And they are super easy to make. They go very quickly. Once you assemble the supplies to make them, you will probably have enough that you can make some and share with other friends, relatives, neighbors, coworkers. You know, it would be kind of a cute little surprise to put on someone's desk at work. So anyway, what you have is you get 2 candy canes per sled, and they have to be candy canes that are wrapped tight. Sometimes they're in like a little baggie, but they have to be ones that are wrapped tight. And then for each one, I use 3 of the little Hershey's miniatures. I use 1 Hershey's Kiss on the back to be Santa's sack of toys. And then there's 2 little chocolate figures. There's a Santa and a snowman. Now the little figures, I always try to find them first because over the years, those are the things that have gotten increasingly difficult to find. So I will show you what I got. Dollar Tree has these. Okay, and they're called Santa's Helpers. And Dollar Tree has these. So this is what I use. So the way that I start is that I line up 3 of the Hershey bars, and I line them up so that you can read the label front on, all in the same direction. That's very important because at the end, it makes it easiest to remove from the cookie sheet. I use a cookie sheet kind of as my workspace. So I use my hot glue gun, take 1 candy cane, run a bead of glue down the side of the candy cane, and then attach the candy bars kind of evenly spaced just to visually, I don't measure it, but I just kind of eyeball it to add the little figures in between. So then I go down the other side of the chocolate and affix the other candy cane. So now I've got my sled minus the passengers. So then I pick out 2 different colored foil wrapped helpers and I glue them right into the space that was left between the candy bars and then put a Hershey Kiss on the end. So it's all on my cookie sheet. So then at the end, I just take a pancake flipper spatula and run right underneath it and scoop it off the sheet just to do more. So the reason I said it's important to have these all lined up that you can read them in the correct perspective is because the way these are wrapped, when I go from the back of the sleigh forward, I don't open up, like all the fold of the wrapper is proper, that I'm not going against the fold of the wrapper. So easy to get off the cookie sheet then. So usually I just keep them like this. But for this sale, what I did was I got little bags at Dollar Tree and some ribbon, and I put each one in a little bag. So in case you are looking to put yours in a bag, I can show you what I got. These are in the party section at Dollar Tree, and they are little loot bags. 25 to a pack. And then I just cut a piece of ribbon, tied it on. So this has also been getting into some of my stitching time, but super fun for the holidays. I have made them for bake sales at school. I have made them for the Sugar Plum shop, for my daughter's ballet studio when they did the Nutcracker. I've made them for coworkers. I've made them for neighbors to have at their Christmas table. I tell you, I have made hundreds, if not thousands of these over the years. So I'm really excited to now share these with my town Christmas tree lighting. And I really think it's a cute little town that I live in. And I really think it's going to feel like one of those Hallmark movies, especially if they talk about getting hot cocoa and gingerbread. All right, friends, I have a few more things to share with you. Boy, here I thought I didn't really have a lot, but I do. Okay, I have some haul that I have gotten. And I will show you what I've gotten here. Oh, big reaching for all of this. Oh, one more thing I wanted to share with you. Another little crafty thing I like to do around the holidays, well, it's stitching related, but I like to make these little sleds. These, here's two that I've made. I gave one away at Thanksgiving. These are the Foxwire Crossing sleds. Lizzie Kate also has some. And these are on perforated paper. I stitched them on the perforated paper, cut them out, glue them to the sled. I got these at different cross-stitch shops in my journeys over the years. I tend to collect several of them when I do it because I like to stitch them. And then when I go to a friend's house at Christmas time, I will put one over the neck of a bottle of wine as a hostess gift. So I did give one to a friend on Thanksgiving, and she absolutely loved it. It had like a colonial pineapple on it, a welcome pineapple. So she loved it. So that's that. So my other things that I have are haul. All right. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Primrose Cottage sip and stitch boxes that they do. Excuse me. Sip and stitch boxes. I didn't really know about them either. I think that the summer one, the patriotic one, was the first one they did, and I totally missed it, but I saw the contents of it and I just knew that I had to find it. So I did. I found it on the secondary market and I was able to get it. So, and they charged me like the regular price, not an inflated price, which I was very grateful for. So being that they're called sip and stitch, what you get is just that. You get some kind of a drinking cup. I told someone you get a drinking vessel and they thought that was funny. But anyway, so the summer one was this one, Stars and Stripes and Stitching. Can you see why I love that? And it's one of those really heavy metal insulated cups. So you got that. You received a few charts. But these charts, well, there's one on the back here, but I can't show it because the chart is right there where the picture is. We also received some recipes, a sheet of stickers, the floss, the DMC to stitch the pieces, a finishing pack that has some really great patriotic fabric in it. Some little tag, project pulls, project bag pulls, or scissor fob, however you want to use that. And some floss drops. It was really a great package. I was really thrilled to find it on the secondary market because I really had some FOMO when I saw that I missed out on it. I need to get a drink. From talking so much, I'm getting kind of dry here. Okay. So that was that. I was really happy to get that, and I'll start on some of those patriotic pieces once the whole hustle of Christmas is over. The other haul I got was I'm in the Scattered Seeds Sampler Club Kit. Scattered Seed Samplers Pin Keep Club. Now you can find these. These are by Tammy Black, and she advertises on Etsy. And then I think it's 3 or 4 times a year, she sends you a PayPal invoice, and you can get her club piece. And these are beautifully curated. So this is a really cute one. So we got everything to make this little strawberry at the bottom and the pin keep. So I got that. The other thing I purchased was the 2 new Christmas releases from Antique Needleworkers. I should have taken them out of the package, so now you got the crinkle going on. Sorry, I'm usually more prepared with everything out of the packages. So these are the 2 new releases from Shelley from Antique Needleworkers. And we have Winter Biscornu. And she had a pin set that I was able to grab. And these are from Jersey Girl Stitch Co. And again, Teresa Cuneo. These pins are gorgeous. There's a little dangly on. And these go in the Winter Biscornu. And then I also bought the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas that you finish onto a spool. Now, Shelley was able to find an antique dealer that had spools that fitted perfectly. So I was able to snag one of the spools also. So I have gathered everything to do these. Hopefully I'll get started on them before Christmas. If not, it'll just be like a nice little Christmas time stitch for me. But wait, there's more. Chantal's does a ornament mystery club. I'm not sure how long she's been doing it. I think she always sold forms for ornaments, but the last 2 years she sold the forms for the ornaments, and then you got charts for the ornaments from designers. So spoiler alert, if you have ordered this and haven't opened it yet, but I got it a while ago, so I'm assuming hopefully that you did, just go past this because I'm going to show the charts. So it's from Chantal's 141, and these are her ornaments for the year. I love this. This is from Hands On Design. It's called Poinsettia Pageant. So here then, just to show you what's going on, we get the wooden form to put it on. So it's like that for all of these charts, which is great. I was really happy with the charts we got this year. This one is called Giver, and this is by Teresa Kogut. Beautiful Santa face. Love that. From Annie Beez, we get Feathers and Frost. From Robin Pickens, Wreath Birds. These would even be really nice just done as an ornament just by itself that you back with fabric and cording around the edge and hang it on your tree. So that was the other one. And then from Plum Street, again, crinkle alert, sorry, we have Winter Stroll. So I was super pleased with the assortment of ornaments this year, and just, again, have to find the time to do all this. So that was that. And then Oh, another piece of haul, then that's it, was I found this little gem at my local antique store, my local antique mall. And I just thought this is a painted little utensil tray. And I just thought this would be really cute with some Christmas smalls in it. I have some, I have to go find them, from a few years ago that Jeanette Douglas did. I think they might go perfectly in here. I haven't stitched them yet, but anyway, I think they'll go perfectly in here. Maybe it'll motivate me to stitch them. The other piece is I have one more piece of Stitchy Kindness. My friend gifted me this little gingerbread box that I am going to have with me and put all my little goodies in it for when I stitch my Stacy Nash ginger animal cracker. But is this not the cutest? Look at that little gingerbread man that she put in the box. Super thoughtful of her. So anyway, very cute. You know, we just have to have all of the things. All of the things. We just have to have it. Okay, folks. Well, that pretty much wraps it up, except I have a giveaway for you. And it's kind of a fun little giveaway this time. Well, hey, a giveaway is always fun. All right, so you know that I have been stitching the animal crackers, and this is how I display mine. So I've only done 4 so far. I've got another one in process, but I have been searching for the old Barnum's Animals boxes. So there's a tin that has been out. Actually, I found 2 Barnum's Animals tins. One is like a rectangular commemorative tin. The other one is a round tin that's about this big. And they're different anniversaries of Barnum's Animals. They marketed them. Well, when I found the rectangular tin, inside there was some empty Barnum's Animals boxes. So I thought it looked super cute to display this with my animal crackers. So, can't really see it that great from here, but trust me, it looks cute with it. So I do have an extra box that I will have as my giveaway. Okay, and it's perfect, in perfect shape. The cookies are gone, but there's no crumbs or anything. And so if you would like to win this Barnum's Animals box to put with your animal crackers, just respond in your comment, animal. However, as always with the giveaways, you have to say it. Don't say prize, don't say raffle, winner, whatever. You must like and subscribe my video and subscribe to my videos. And in your comment, just leave the word animal. And I will select a winner to win this little Barnum's Animals box to go with your animal cracker display. So that's my first giveaway. The second giveaway is really kind of special. Back when I said we had the Jingle Ball here, when I had a bunch of friends at my house that weekend, they gifted me one of these from Colonial Williamsburg. And then I was there recently, down in the Colonial area recently, and I purchased one to share with you. So this is from one of the Colonial Williamsburg shops, and it is a mug that says Huzzah. So if you would like to share your morning coffee with me, or your tea, or whatever else you want to put in a mug, comment the word Huzzah in the comments. And I will have one winner that wins this beautiful Huzzah mug from Colonial Williamsburg. Okay, so there you go. So hopefully, I would love if I could touch base with you again before Christmas. I honestly doubt it. My son is coming home with his girlfriend. My daughter is coming home from Germany, and we have some action-packed days planned with them. So I probably won't be back before Christmas, but I do hope to get back to you in the beginning of January, and we can talk blessing samplers and all of that good stuff. I am anticipating having something back from the framers by that time, and then also another project that I have worked on for a long time. That'll be a surprise that I'll show you. It's not something I normally do, but I'll have that to share with you also. So anyway, everyone, please enjoy your holiday. I hope you like what I've had to share with you here today. And until we meet again, may you find calm, joy, and relaxation in your stitches. Love ya. Bye-bye.